Hi, my name is Jonathan Hop, and this is the Sunday Go Lessons channel, and today I'm going to do an AlphaGo versus AlphaGo game. Quick announcement, if you enjoy my commentaries, if you enjoy the videos you see on this channel, please consider becoming a patron. The website is down below. It's on Patreon. I got some great stuff for people who sign up. Now that we got that out of the way, we're going to look at some AlphaGo versus AlphaGo games. DeepMind released 50 Go records from AlphaGo playing itself. So AlphaGo, to train itself for the Kutia match, it basically played against itself millions and millions of games. And so these are, like, since AlphaGo is so strong, every Go player was pretty much hooked on like getting these games immediately as they came out. Like DeepMind said that they were going to bring out 10 every day until they got to 50. I got all 50 basically on the first day. Someone had the SGF file and already had it pretty much out. So what we're going to mainly focus on this game is like what kind of new things can AlphaGo kind of teach us? What are we going to? What's the next level of Go? And how can we use AlphaGo to do it? Because AlphaGo plays some pretty unorthodox moves, or moves that we thought were bad, but maybe actually they're kind of good. Maybe we should start playing them. All right, so this is, of course, I mean, you know it's an AlphaGo game when you see this two-space high corner enclosure, which is almost never played. You only see it in double-digit Q games, and now AlphaGo plays it, so it must be okay. One thing I do try to do is I don't want to just like look at the move and just say every move that AlphaGo plays is amazing, because it isn't. Because in AlphaGo, one AlphaGo loses to itself. So clearly, someone played not as well as the other person. But in this case, this move appears a lot in AlphaGo's during the Master Series, and White played here, which is a 3-3 point, which is going to be very difficult for me to get on the bandwagon with, because we're taught as Go players you only really invade the 3-3 point if Black already has like stones around. Like if Black were to have stones like this, then go ahead and invade the 3-3 point, because it's kind of like the last resort. Because you don't want to go in on the sides because you're going to be attacked really severely. So you go into the 3-3 point because you know that your opponent's going to get like territory. I mean, your opponent will get thickness and you'll get territory. And this early in the game, we try not to give our opponent thickness outright, because we don't know if our territory is going to be worth it or not. AlphaGo, with his great calculation skills, thinks, this is clearly better than this. This is the move I would play. I think a lot of other Go players would think of would be the wedge move, where Black could try to build something from the bottom, or Black could try to build something from the top, but something to split the right side, but not to get attacked immediately. But this is AlphaGo, so AlphaGo invades the 3-3 point. And this is what AlphaGo does, is he just sort of plays through the Joseki a little bit and then stops. So Black blocks. This is the correct way to block. You don't want to block this way, because you'll build a wall facing White's star point stone on the upper left, and then your development's kind of weird, because you're saying, I want power in the area where White already has some power. So you want to build your stones where they're working together. Alright, and then we play this move. This move's normal. If White plays here, then Black can just take Sente. That's the idea of jumping at 0-17, so Black can take Sente. So I would play a big move like this pretty much immediately and build the right side, a very, very deep territorial framework. White played here. And then here is usually where Black plays elsewhere. And again, when we're the normal way to play is to extend, and then I think you extend one more, and then you go like this basically. If that isn't correct, I think you can. The reason you want to extend is because, like, if you play like this, which is totally a thing you can do, you're alive. It might be big for Black to play here at some point, but even without all that, White played here and Black just played elsewhere. So when we're learning Go, like in the very beginning, we don't want to let our opponent have an Atari for no reason and let them get out. So like, part of the reason that we were told this move is not as great, or like for White to continue playing, is if White gets to play here, then this might be good for White, or a move like this, or White might want to cut at this side, depending if it's severe. So it kind of gives White some options. But Black thinks, AlphaGo thinks whole board. Alright, he doesn't think locally. So locally he may take a hit, but every stone is sort of tailor made to the global situation. Alright, White played here to reduce Black's territorial framework, but slowly. So we wanted these two stones are very strong. And another AlphaGo favorite, AlphaGo never, like, I don't think I have seen an AlphaGo like play like this or like this. I mean, I don't see these moves that often in this game. It almost always plays a shoulder hit to the low knights move, and here it makes perfect sense. High stone, high stone, high stone wall. You want to try to build a very, very thick, deep territorial framework. So this is a very efficient move. And in that pure AlphaGo style, he plays elsewhere. If you follow up, this gives white sente because there's no, like, white doesn't need to actually, like, white could go like this and maybe you'll go like that and then you'll try to build something. But they're really, black may want to pick a different move over here. So I think black just basically leaves this. Maybe black wants to play this, or maybe there's some fight and then this is a ladder breaker or something. It depends, but normally you follow up here. But black doesn't do that because black wants, I guess, wants to maintain sente. Here is the thing: black played the 3/3 invasion, and it's just going to be very difficult for me to kind of accept this because there's no wings on the other side, and white's going to get the outside thickness, and white's definitely going to block this way. So, like, but let's look at the other options and see if we can get into AlphaGo's head and see why does it invade the 3/3 at this point. Remember, we have to look at the whole board. We have to look at every single stone, its relationship to each other, to kind of get into AlphaGo's head. So if we play from this side, well, on this side of the board, the left side, white has a numerical advantage, so white is going to pincer. If white pincers here, if you do anything to take the corner, that's exactly what white wants. So black takes the corner, and white builds just a ridiculously deep territorial framework on the left side. In fact, probably he'll just play like this to make it really, like, large. This, if white builds a large framework here, that will reduce black's effectiveness over here because white can easily invade his area. So that, if anything that involves black jumping into the corner will be good for white. So black is going to have to, like, move out. In which case, I'm personally wondering, like, this would be, I think, decent for black if he presses white down using this standard sequence, because this wall works with the rest of it. But if I was AlphaGo, maybe AlphaGo wouldn't defend the corner like this. Maybe AlphaGo would go like this and just decide to play a move like this and make something deep like this, right? This might be the way AlphaGo might play. Or AlphaGo might play a high pincer, something to develop the lower left side and attack this stone. So looks like moving in on the left side in a sort of satisfactory way looks to be quite difficult. And black will have some sort of group that's not really stabilized, and you don't want a group that's not stabilized next to your territorial framework. So it looks like black just went straight for the territory. He wants points. He's got his framework, but he needs some points to kind of fall back on. All right. And we didn't play this. Guessing that white could take, according to Alpha, white could take sente at this point, but this cut at f16 with these black stones over here might be pretty, like, lethal. So I think that's why white played more solid, right? There's no cutting points if you just extend. So black plays here, white plays here, and then we just tanuki. All right, so white played a more territorial move. This is defensive. He's trying to defend his stones, and this move locks both sides together. This was a little bit surprising. I would have figured black would play a little bit further away for this capping move, but black played here, which is both reducing and attacking because these four white stones at the top don't have a base yet, and so there's a kind of a weakness along this line. So white first played this, and then black attacked. Let's see. What happens if white just simply were to defend, right? So if white were to answer the reduction move outright, then that will be exactly what black wants, because then black gets this move. And then now black will choose to jump. This stone, and these three stones all work together to make a really big framework, so white can't play so defensively. Like, black controls too much of the territory, so white has to play a move to stop that. This move radiates power this way, so now black is reduced. But now black gets an attack. Alright, this move was also kind of cool, so black plays here. And we're going to start the fight with the cut. And I guess what black is looking for, black played this to set up a weakness later where black can play like this. Let's say white takes, counter Atari, and then black gets a pretty huge corner like this. White does get a flower shape on the outside, which would be very powerful, but this is also a lot of points for black. It's very good for black, actually. So So black is setting up that weakness first. This is why AlphaGo is so interesting. It's preparation. In the pair go with Guli and Lin, I think it was Lin Xiao. Um, AlphaGo was like strengthen his group with this like 15 move sequence in preparation for this other long sequence on the left. It was just like very deep strategy. So black is already kind of preparing some way to maximize the use of the weakness on the left side. So we cut. So remember, we had the choice. We could have went like this, but in this case, this is too easy on white. There's no reason to target from this direction. We're not trying to take points. We're trying to attack. So we're going to cut. And white defends himself. There's no real need to get that. And then so what white's going to do is white wants to try to counterattack on these black stones. So he's going to create a weakness for black. And this move is pretty cool. So black plays here. I guess if black were to do this, this is not really that much fun. So black this. White makes a pretty strong corner, and these three black stones are pretty much done with, so he has to protect them. Right, white plays here. And this is a pretty cool nose Tsuji. So if white comes out, black can always harass white. So like this. And what basically black will do is black will say, well, I always have I way under at H18. So I'm gonna, yes, my 3 stones, my 1, 2, 3, 4 stones over here will be probably dog food, but your 3 stones and all this territory will become mine. So if you don't want that, you can't let me just come out willy-nilly. You can't just come out willy-nilly. So white kills these stones. Very big move. Right, black builds a nice area here, and white moves out. See, black. Originally, I thought black would try to like fight or something, but there's not really a good move here. If you move out with this stone, because this was my first instinct. Let's see. White could come out like this and fight this way. I guess, black seems concerned about the N14. Don't get me wrong, this is very big. This moves the line of black's territorial framework quite over. And this does help these stones out pretty much. White kills the top. And then black is going to press white pretty low. This would be very sad for white. Like, as white, I understand not connecting. This is too big. Black is starting to get too large for white to handle. So white plays this, and this is the move that blew my mind. I like stared at the screen. I thought to myself, they must have recorded the game wrong, but that's impossible. So this move, white just is like, yep, I'm going right in. I mean, this is not the way you normally make sabaki. When you go into your opponent's area of control, normally you play like moves like this. Or maybe you attach first to see what your opponent does, and if he doesn't do something, then you play this or something. Something a little bit more finesse. And AlphaGo's just like, no, I'm going to shoulder hit under my opponent's stone, which we learn when we're double-digit Qs and single-digit Qs that shoulder hit beneath your opponent's stone is a bad move. Not here, but actually, I kind of gained appreciation for it because essentially it left what AlphaGo leaves himself 2 options. We're going to see what I mean in a second. So this all makes sense. They're pushing against each other. And then black's like, no, I'm going to strike at these stones over here. White gets Sente. And then, because white basically is already given up on these stones, they're not going to give him that much use to it later. And white plays the attachment here. Black separates. And black plays like the strongest sequence you can possibly play here. And then white uses that. Like, white basically says, with this move, you can let me live with these stones, or you can let me live in the corner. It's sort of two-door mentality. So we play here. Let's see. Block. This was interesting. I was wondering what would happen if black played here first. And white could come out like this. If black were to play this, then white could just take the stones. Take the stones, just make shape like this. This probably actually isn't very good. Like this, yeah, this probably is not that nice for for black, that he gets pushed down pretty low. Alright, so we're not going to play that. Black instead wants to kill these stones, but white will get these stones in the process, which is a really cool trade. Okay, this move was extremely big. So it's like AlphaGo also has these moves that are like really, they look really slow. Like I might not play this here. I might try to like make this area really big. But later black might have a move like this, and this move actually becomes really kind of annoying. You could block like this, and then you kind of feel you don't want to play another move in here, but you need to. Like if you play here, it just seems like there's too many stones. Like this would secure everything, but it feels like there's too many stones. So I guess white felt that move was kind of tricky, so might as well just kill it. Like played here, and I'm like one thing I noticed in AlphaGo games is that it ignores itself a lot. Like it will play one move, ignore it, completely ignore it, move elsewhere. Play another move, ignore it, Tanuki, whatever. Because normally you'd want like these stones look dead. Like with white plays here, black's gonna like black can cut here. So if that's the case, you kind of figure you want to kill these stones outright. You don't want to play a move to where you want to make sure you can come back and kill these things. But AlphaGo's pretty confident. So white plays here. Black plays a forcing move and then cuts. White saves these stones, and then if white plays here at some point, there's a ko by black throwing in here, white taking, and then there's a ko there. That ko is actually, it's better for white than it is for black. So we go back to it. So if white connects here, black can throw in. White takes first, and then if we look, if black wins, basically black will, like let's say black plays somewhere, white plays somewhere, right, and black takes back. White plays somewhere, black ignores, and then black takes. So black gets these 5 stones here. Go back, and then if black loses the ko, so black plays somewhere else, white takes here, and then this group can start to get to be in kind of a little bit danger. Let's see. So yeah, the black will probably have to pull back. If black doesn't pull back, then white will pretty much capture the group. So this ko, like, it's still in reserve though, so it might depend on the condition outside to see who is better for him. White connects. I thought this was a cool move. This is where I got a little bit confused. I thought to myself, well, you know, why block here? If that sequence works, why not just block here? Because then, if black plays this, I mean, you can always run out. And there's little recourse. I mean, you can play an ugly move like this. And I don't see that this Hane does much of anything. Yeah, it doesn't do much. Okay, so it looks like black can just die, so I really wanted for black to die without any sort of conditions. So white plays here, which is good. I mean, white makes it solid. Black plays this. White peeps in the inside. I just want like black to just cleanly die. So it looks like black found a way to live in this corner, which was really, really, really big. Actually quite skillful. So like did not see a move like this. This is pretty cool. Because basically, if white just blocks, then black lives. It's pretty simple. So black lives in the corner, white saves those stones. It's kind of compensation. Then we get this move, which is another really awesome move. This move does a lot of work. It helps the weak stones on the left now that white's put them in danger. It helps out the right, and it reduces white's left side. So now black can play moves later like this that threaten the little gap in between the white stones over here. Now that black is alive this way. So this is kind of a cool preparation move. Let's see. White played here, which is aiming at attacking these stones, but this is really slow. It seems, but also it means that there's absolutely no weakness on the top. I wonder if there is any weakness for black, like this cut. So like let's say, I mean, worst comes to worst, right? Black cuts, white pushes through. This might start to become actually quite difficult. White might have to come back and kill the stone. In which case black might get some forcing moves around the center. That might not be so good. So this move, like when I see a move like this signals to me that there's some bad ashi in the area, and white wants to like attack solidly so like black can't use anything. So we are reducing. White attacks. Okay, this is reduction. This is another good reduction move. If otherwise white gets something like this, and that's really not so great. Because that expands the bottom side, which is a lot of points. So this is a straight reduction move. White is looking to reduce here because black has walled off two of the sides. This side looks pretty like black, so he only needs one more wall to get the center. And something very cool in this game happens. This is another like AlphaGo loves attachments. So black comes under. White connects out. And this move was interesting. This move is like the first instinct, because the problem I still see is if black plays this, white has to go like this. Black can cut, so it might cut off these stones. But the problem, here's the problem. The problem being if you block like this, then white will Tari and fight like this, and this is going to be pretty bad for black. So that would be overplay for black. So black's got to do a little bit more first. This like counterattacks, and then white is prepping for a cut. Like these moves look simple, but they're so efficient. Like kill some more stones. Now his group is pretty much safe. And then white is going to try to find white's. At this point, if we try to look at the points, white has the upper side, which is like 2, 4, 5, 6. It's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 8, 9, 20. Let's say this is 25, and this part is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is another 20. It's like 50. So like white has a good chunk, like maybe about 50-ish points. I'm just estimating at the top, and white's got 10 points on the side and maybe 15 points. So white's doing actually pretty good for himself. So but black has. Let's see how much does black have. 10 points, 11 points up here. Another 10 points over here, 12 points. Let's say this is, well, after this is done. So possibly 10 points, 10 points, 20 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 40 points. I'm not sure how they count the bottom, because the bottom could be reduced heavily. So black really needs this square right here. So this is 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, 5, 20, 25. Yeah, this black needs this chunk and to be able to stay in the game at all. All right, so white's looking for a way to get in. He finds a really cool way to get in. So black starts to go. Okay, we do a little bit of a co-fight, and it looks like, see, like here, the black shape actually has these two weaknesses. There's a cut here, and then there's a Scourge of Liberties. That if white gets this move, that it creates kind of a clumped shape. So black's shape is actually really weak. So white makes use of it and cuts. So in which case, I was wondering. This probably will be really bad at some point. If black loses the so like this, you could do like this. But black is probably still maintain some of his points. So let's see. Just ladder the stone, right? And then if white plays here, you play here. If white plays here, you can just take. and then this is all yours. And then you cut. This seems to get the most points here, but black took kind of a little bit of a risk here because what all white has to do is sort of up the ante later. I'll show you what happens. So white plays here, then black played elsewhere, and so this is where I'm sort of like, why not just secure the territory at this point? Because these stones are dead, and even if you play a move like this or something to that effect, there's nothing really white can do. White plays here, you take, and then if white plays here, you could, if you're really just scared, you can extend. And there might be some small weakness, but I don't think it's big enough to really do anything. But white connected the ko because it's actually quite big. Black played here to try to kill these, and then white found this just amazing sequence. Like, this move was it. This move is awesome. It starts a ko, and this ko is terrible for black. That's why I was wondering what AlphaGo was thinking, because that ko is absolutely awful for black. This was all black's territory. Here's how you can evaluate. This was all black's territory. And now he has to fight a ko where, I mean, he gets to take the ko, he gets to take the first stone, which is great. But at the same time, this is his territory. Now he has to fight a ko for his own territory. So the game continues for a while. It's just basically a ko fight. A very long ko fight. And it's a very big ko. After this, white lives, and white has lived and destroyed so much of black's territory. All that right side was pretty much gone. And that's why I was wondering, this move, it's AlphaGo, I don't want to jump on the AlphaGo bandwagon just yet. Even though that was, of course, an amazing thing. I wonder if it counts co-threats, because maybe if it counted co-threats, and said, okay, well, after so many ko's, then I can fight this ko and win, so therefore the more optimal thing for me to do would be to try to attack the group on top and start like a ko here. So, like, for example, if white plays like this, then we have this sort of thing. White's not in danger, of course. White can always just kill these stones, so white's not really in danger. So this move is, while big in points, at first I thought, okay, it played this because these moves basically it read out that it had enough ko threats to win this ko fight. So if it wins this ko fight, it's calculated that it can win it, and therefore it can play a move like this. If that sequence exists and you're aware of it, then you want to try to protect from that sequence, and then you want to just kill everything on the right side. Then you've got the box of this box, and you've got this area and this area all to yourself. And that's a lot of points for black. So that ko was everything. Alright, so kind of in summation, the AlphaGo sort of moves were these early three-point invasions, which we learned a lot from, and AlphaGo's just excellent full board kind of mentality. And I'm going to be going over these games. I'm going to try to make a series of them to try to give my commentary, my basic thoughts. And if you have anything to add, I would be very interested in learning with my viewers. Alright, that's it for the day. I'll see you guys next time.